What's up, YouTube? Today I want to talk about two versions of veganism, two different lifestyles that are vegan, and just a little bit of my experience with both. So this is Starch Solution versus Rawtil4. So Starch Solution is the vegan lifestyle where you mainly eat starch, so corn, potatoes, rice, and that's pretty much what most of your meals are centered around, with, lots of vegetables and even fruits and stuff thrown in there as well. But it's mostly centered around that starch, main component of your meals. And most of your calories coming from, those whole foods like potatoes and sweet potatoes and rice, whatever, brown rice, pasta, all that. And then Rawtil4 is when you eat mostly fruits, pretty much. So you're eating a lot of fruit in the morning for breakfast and in the afternoon for lunch. So you're literally eating raw until 4 p.m. And that's the definition of Rawtil4 here. So you can eat like vegetables and stuff like that, but just nothing cooked until 4 p.m. And I think the reasoning behind it is, the fiber and water content in fruits and raw vegetables is very high, so it helps your digestive system. And let's just talk about the people who go on these types of, lifestyle diet adjustments. Now, on the Starch Solution, these people go potato crazy. They eat tons of potatoes. So if you like potatoes, that's for you. Now, Rawtil4, they eat like tons and tons of fruit. I mean, I'm talking these people eat like 8-10 bananas for breakfast in a smoothie, which I did when I first started my vegan lifestyle, my vegan journey, I guess, back in January. And that's how I got introduced into veganism, was the Rawtil4 style. And I really enjoyed it, honestly, eating a ton of fruit for breakfast and starting my day off with like an actual meal rather than like, skipping breakfast, being like a normal dieter, I guess. So, I would eat like 5 or 6 bananas for breakfast. I could never eat like 10, but I guess I could have built up to it. So eating a ton of fruit, which was great. I'm not hating on it, but when you get later in the day and you get a little bit, like hungrier, I guess, or you want something other than fresh fruit or fresh raw vegetables, it's kind of difficult when you get to like lunchtime and you're like, oh, more fruit, which is delicious, but it got old for me. So compare that to, and then of course dinner, like you can eat whatever you want. Like most people on Rawtil4, most people eat like a lot of potatoes or like corn pasta or whatever else they want. Anything cooked you can do. So that seems to be a huge meal for Rawtil4. And I did it for a while. So Starch Solution, what your meals look like are, I think a lot of people eat oatmeal for breakfast, or, like a sweet potato, because that's generally something like sweet to start your day off. And then for lunch you'll have like potatoes or like a big salad. Even mix up fruits in there. Like some people will eat like fruit meals and everything, which is totally awesome. I'm all about that. And I sometimes eat like fruit meals still. But if you haven't caught on, I am more like inclined to the Starch Solution method at this point. Just mainly because I like heartier or like more savory than sweet meals like throughout the day, I guess. I think fruit, it does digest so quickly and it just processes through my body so quickly that I was hungrier faster after meals, and I think that's fine, because I feel like you have to eat a lot more fruit to get in the same amount of calories than you do like potatoes. So it would be fine, and I could probably do like a Rawtil4 again if I didn't have like a desk job or like a job where I'm not like working at home, because what are you gonna do? How are you gonna pack like a whole watermelon or like 10 bananas for lunch when you go to work, right? I mean, it's just difficult, honestly. it's hard. So Starch Solution, you can pack like, like 4 potatoes and you're good for the day. Or, like make stuff. I mean, I'm pretty lazy, so I don't like make stuff that often, but you can make like lasagna without the cheese, obviously, or like noodles and spaghetti and stews or chilies or whatever, or I just make a lot of rice. So right now I'm like more on the Starch Solution variation, and honestly, like it's actually a book called Starch Solution, and I actually was inclined more, or followed the Starch Solution more, so before I actually read about it. And it was just sort of a natural inclination for me, rather than like, oh, let me follow this rigid diet. And I just kind of, once I like realized I didn't really like Rawtil4 as much, like eating fruit all day long, I just started mixing in other, cooked foods throughout the day. And then I read the Starch Solution and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm pretty aligned with this. So I'm really mixed it up. Like I do fruit and I do, like starch a lot. And so determining which is better is extremely difficult, because I feel like it's so dependent on your lifestyle and like just you as a person. I mean, I know some people just like smash in the bananas and fruit, which is totally cool. I mean, I eat a whole watermelon. Well, I eat a half of a watermelon for breakfast every Saturday morning, which is great. But I just don't think I could do it every day. But anyways, Starch Solution versus Rawtil4. For me, I'm more inclined to Starch Solution, just because, the foods are a little more calorie dense, so you don't have to eat like as many of them, even though you feel just as full, if not more so, from them. And Rawtil4 is just a little bit more difficult to do as a lifestyle for me, since I'm so lazy, because you have to like keep fresh fruit around, but it has to be ripe fruit, or it has to be ripened, and it kind of got a little bit stressful, honestly, like making sure I had enough food around to eat, and then being like on a rigid, like, okay, only raw until 4 p.m. and it was like, why am I doing this? Just eat what I want. So that's what I do now, is just a mixture of both, but mostly like starch stuff, because I also really love potatoes and rice. I mean, it's so good. But it's really, I think the really like the key focus though is just like eat a vegan style diet, because I think either one, if you do either one, or if you do like junk food vegan even, I mean, I don't care, like Oreos are vegan, marshmallows are vegan, so weird, but do a junk food vegan diet, whatever you're doing, like just switch it up, get rid of those animal products, and I think you'll see some changes, in your body and your health. And by health I mean like your energy levels, or even like your skin or your digestion especially. I think either one will help your digestion. And just go either way, see what works for you, or not, keep eating meat, whatever. I would recommend trying one or the other, just to see how it works. You might like it.